Sicario 2, Day of the Soldado, starring Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro, is the hit follow-up to the 2015 movie Sicario. This time, the Mexican cartels are sending suicide bombers across the border to help kill some Americans, and of course we reply in the most logical way possible. We decide we're going to go ahead and start a war between the cartels, and we're going to do this through assassinating some of their key people, as well as kidnapping their kids. Logical solution, right? Looking at the acting in this movie, both Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro did a fantastic job. Both of their characters, they really built on what they had started in the first Sicario movie, and they took it to the next level. You definitely gain some more understanding about their characters. There's just way more character development, specifically for these two. I felt like in the first Sicario movie, it was more about Emily Blunt's character than Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro, but they just did such a great job further developing these characters in this movie that, I don't know, you really got to give them props for that there. There was one moment that the acting from Josh Brolin, for me, it got a little cringy. There's a spot in the movie where he's asking for something to happen, and then he's like, you know, chop, chop, let's do it. And I mean, it's just, for me, it felt unnatural coming from that character, knowing what it is that had to be, the task that had to be completed. It just kind of felt a little out of place. Overall, with this movie, it's pretty easy to follow. It's not confusing, really. My biggest complaint about this movie was just the lack of tense scenes that you had in the first movie. There were definitely a couple of them there, and in this movie, you had one big one about halfway through it where there's a shootout that pretty much that's what takes this movie and turns it completely sideways. It literally, halfway through this movie, they take the characters that you have and it sort of pits them against each other. That first 45 minutes, it's just all set up, and I mean, that's how a movie should be, right? But it was just a little bit slower for me. That second half of the movie, it really starts, and I know I've talked about this already, developing the character for Alejandro, Benicio del Toro's character. It really develops him as far as even what you know about from the first movie related to his family getting killed. You know, you find out that his daughter was deaf, he's able to do sign language. Overall, for me, this was another fun movie to watch. The thing that really takes this movie to the next level, though, is the sound design. Literally, when they're using suppressors, those things are not quiet whatsoever. And when they're using those in the movie, you actually get the true-to-life sound effect from it. When they're riding in helicopters, you really feel like you're in the helicopter with them. It's not like at the beginning of Predator, where all the guys are in the helicopter and they're just kind of yelling at each other, hey this, hey that. No, you know, they're wearing their headsets, they're actually communicating authentically. Gunfire is another thing in this movie that the sound design was just spot on with. I don't know the best way to explain it, but you actually feel like you're in a firefight. You hear the bullets ricocheting and pinging off the vehicles all around you there. As far as anything kind of bad to say about this movie, other than that one scene with Josh Brolin to where it was a little bit of a cringy acting, there is a moment where you have to suspend disbelief near the end of this movie, and I'm going to try and put the picture, I don't know, right up here. There is a character that identifies another character, and he's like 100 yards away. It's at night in the dark, and that other character is standing in front of a bus that has headlights shining in. And looking at the picture, you can see that this is probably not somebody that's easy to identify. Overall, though, this movie, near the end of it, just kind of plays out to where you're wondering what's going to happen. This is a sequel, and if we know anything from the Scream movies where they explain the different rules pertaining to sequels, we know that someone's probably going to die here. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even say that. Overall, though, this was a pretty good movie. I don't feel that it was as good as the first movie. However, it is still something worth watching. If you get a chance, go ahead and check it out. By the way, I appreciate you watching the videos here. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a thumbs up if you like the content, and I'm going to get more great videos coming your way soon. You take care.